Why do we sit here being silent, watching our leaders turn into tyrants? Have they forgotten which side they're fighting for? Checks and balances set aside and rule of laws, youths and ours, and Constitution openly ignored. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Is it time for right and left to join a greater cause? Man, I'm not okay. The rich claim to be victimized just to attack the marginalized. Is 1% really worth more than all the sick and poor? Always preaching about fellowship while planning their dictatorship. Now we've seen how all of this plays out before. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call. Man, I'm not okay. Ever wonder all the mystery, why they whitewash our history, keep dividing is their plan? All in all, such a scam. Algorithm very sly, only used to spread the lies. Politicians know well, hate is simple to upsell. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call.
We are not okay. America is not okay, and we all know that. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, this is The Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Let's figure out how to get okay together. Hey, 3 questions for you all. This Tuesday morning, former Congressman Joe Walsh with you this Tuesday morning. I hope you're doing well. 3 questions that I'd like all of us to ponder this Tuesday morning. Question number 1, what's worse, being wicked or being wrong? What's worse? What's worse, being just out and out wicked or being just plain wrong? I ask that question because we're living in a moment right now, and I do some of this myself, where, man, the popular thing to do is to criticize the Democratic Party. That's the cool thing to do, and everybody's doing it, right? They're socialists, they're communists. Look at all these crazy lefties who the Democratic Party is turning to. Oh my God, they're nominating candidates who want to abolish prisons or get rid of our borders or provide free college, free education for life for everybody. The list goes on. Oh my God, they're commies, they're socialists. Everybody shrieks. I do a little bit of that shrieking myself. And it's not just MAGA and Republicans who shriek, oh my God, these Democrats, communists, socialists. And again, it needs to be said that damn near everybody in this country doesn't know what socialism is, doesn't know what communism is. But this is the lay of the land right now. It's really hip and popular to wrap Democrats upside the head, to wrap the Democratic Party upside the head. And I get it, right? Because the Democratic Party, especially Democratic Party leaders, especially the Democratic Party establishment, has been utterly weak and feckless and has not met this moment. I get it. But it's the oddity. Here comes the context. The oddity of everybody and their mother criticizing Democrats right now for, I don't know, hurtling down that road towards socialism, for being closet communists, whatever it is. The oddity and the irony of so many people doing that when we are living right now in America with an outright fascist in the White House, right? I mean, not a day goes by that I don't say to a former Republican colleague in Congress or a former right-wing media colleague, hey, respectfully, Steve, fuck off, right? With all your Dems or commies talk, fuck off, right? Because you support and bow down to and worship and embrace a fascist. I mean, the context here. We're all criticizing Democrats for maybe a little bit or a lot thinking about socialist ideas, some of them, when right now we've got a fucking fascist in the White House. And all everybody's doing is criticizing Democrats. We have an authoritarian in the White House. My former political party is full-on authoritarian right now. Full-on fascist right now. But the Democratic Party nominated a handful of wacky democratic socialists. Again, I'm asking this question, and Bill Maher, yesterday, I think, Bill Maher, Real Time. I used to be on his show. That was a while ago. Did an interview with NPR. Keith, I don't know if we have like the headline there, but this is what Bill Maher did, right? He epitomizes this. Bill Maher epitomizes this dishonesty, this disingenuousness. Bill Maher, in an interview with NPR, again, lashed out at the Democratic Party, lashed out at their socialist wing, lashed out at some of the crazy, shitty, cuckoo stuff these Democratic candidates are thinking about doing or have advocated or have said. And thanks, Keith. And Bill Maher left open the door to even voting for J.D. Vance. The dishonesty. And Bill Maher times millions, because again, this craziness, we're living in a country right now with a president who's trying to take away our rights and our liberties by the day. We live right now in a country with a president who's targeting brown and black people and disappearing them and shooting and killing them every single day. We're living in a country right now where the president of the United States has been at war against the free press from day one. We live in a country right now where the president, like any good dictator, like any good fascist, doesn't give a fuck, and he's enriching himself billions by the day. And yet all Bill Maher can talk about and be worried about and fret about is, oh my God, some of these crazy, kooky, democratic socialist candidates, are you hearing what they're saying? It's right. I was about to say it's like we've lost all perspective, but when did we last have perspective in this uber tribal, uber polarized, hot take, hot outrage social media world in which we live? When did perspective ever matter? When did context ever matter? When did contemplation or thought ever matter? What's worse, being wicked or being wrong, Bill Maher? Bill Maher, again, he exemplifies what I'm talking about right now, spends every minute of his time ripping Democrats, while at the same time sucking up to, giving a free pass to, kissing the ass of the fascist in the White House. I always believed Bill Maher was a jerk, even when I used to go on his show, but I always figured Bill Maher was an honest jerk. Like, he told you the truth from his perspective. And I always figured that Bill Maher valued individual freedom more than anything. Like, I always thought of Bill Maher as a small L libertarian. Leave me alone. Let me make money. Let me smoke my pot. Let me live my life. Government, stay out of my life. I always figured that was Bill Maher. But yet we have a guy in the White House right now who is the greatest threat to individual freedom in this country we've ever had in a president. And Bill Maher doesn't say shit about him. In fact, Bill Maher praises him. Let's understand something. I think these democratic socialists are flat out wrong with damn near everything they're saying. Let's eliminate borders. Let's abolish prisons. Capitalism is evil. We need bigger government to give benefits to everybody. Everybody. On and on it goes. But listen to what I'm saying. I believe these democratic socialists are wrong. Many of them, most of them, I think most Democrats in general who advocate for a bigger, more activist government, and that's not my thing, but most Democrats who advocate for that have the best of intentions. I think they're just wrong. My former party, full-on authoritarian and fascist, they ain't just wrong, they're wicked. Fascism is wicked. Authoritarianism is wicked. All we're doing is harping on the party that seems to be getting shit wrong. And we're living right now with a government, with a party that's flat out wicked, that is on our streets every single day targeting brown and black people. That ain't wrong. That's wicked. A president who sues law firms and private companies and universities to bend to his fucking will. That's not just wrong, that's wicked. I could go on. A president who turned the government over in his early days to this guy named Elon Musk, talk about wicked, Doge, just abolished USAID, leading to the deaths of more than 1 million impoverished people around the world. That ain't just wrong, that's wicked. A party right now that scapegoats brown and black people for everything that's wrong in this country. That's not just wrong. That's wicked. I ain't hip to most of what my new party is doing because I think they're wrong. I don't think they're wicked. We have a fascist in the White House right now. And we're worried about another party maybe becoming socialist. We have a fascist in the White House right now. We have an authoritarian in the White House right now. Hell, we have a communist in the White House right now who's literally right now having the government buy stakes take over parts of private companies. That's happening now. There are various definitions of fascism. Common threads run through all of the definitions of fascism, going all the way back to World War I Europe and bringing it up here into America. These common threads. Let me read a few of these common threads that are typical in an authoritarian fascist government. And you tell me how many ring true with Trump and the Republican Party right now, with what Donald Trump is doing. Concentrate power in one leader. Weaken checks and balances. Elevate loyalty to the leader above loyalty to laws and institutions. That sounds familiar. Attack the independent media. Label journalists and the media as the enemy. Intimidate reporters. Censor or control information. Again, we're living with this right now. Undermining the rule of law. Pressure courts. Ignore legal constraints. Apply laws selectively against opponents. Expand state security powers. Increase surveillance, policing, detention powers. Target minority groups. Blame ethnic, religious, racial, political, or immigrant groups for national problems. Trump today. Suppress dissent, intimidate protesters, activists, academics, unions, and political opponents. Trump does that every single fucking day. Erode civil liberties, restrict speech, assembly, privacy, due process, and other constitutional or legal rights. The Trump administration is doing that every single day. Fascists create a culture of fear. How familiar does that sound? Encourage people to fear crime, to fear outsiders, to feel internal enemies, to justify his increase of powers. Use propaganda and disinformation, repeat simple narratives, lie. That's Trump. Demand loyalty over competence. That's Trump. These are all common thread characteristics of fascism. How many of these apply to the current administration? Militarize politics. Portray political disputes as battles. Blur the line between civilian government and security forces. Hello? Scapegoat opponents. Portray critics as traitors, enemies of the people, threats to the nation. Normalize emergency powers. Trump has done this a whole bunch of times in his year and a half. Try to control education and culture. Look what he's doing with every cultural institution in this country. Encourage citizens to inform on one another. Redefine patriotism. Equate support for the government or the leader with love of country. Weaken independent institutions. Undermine the watchdogs, the election officials, inspectors general, and on and on and on. Textbook Trump administration, reduce accountability for state actors, shield officials from investigation or consequences for abuses of power. Donald Trump has promised everybody in his administration a pardon. Manipulate elections or political competition. That's Donald Trump's middle name. Present rights as conditional. Rights don't belong equally to everyone. I just gave you 20 common threads of fascism. You tell me how many sound familiar right now, how many feel like it's what we're living under right now, how many ring true when it comes to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. And that's wicked. That's all wicked. That's a dictator. That's a strong man who wants to silence and kill people and suppress our rights, plain and simple. That's not wrong. That's wicked. Wanting free college and free higher education for everybody in this country, I think that's dead wrong. It ain't wicked. So Bill Maher and everybody else focusing all their attention on Democrats and not Republicans right now. Not talking about what we're living under right now. Respectfully. Come on now. Context. Respectfully. Fuck them. Question number 2. At this point, is it really irrational for a brown or black person to run away from ICE when they're pulled over? Think about this next question. Is that an irrational act? Right now, July 21st, 2026. You're a brown or a black immigrant. ICE pounds on your door. You're in an automobile. ICE pulls you over. Is it really irrational for that brown or black person to just flee the scene, to just run away from ICE? I'll give you my answer now. I don't think it's irrational at all for a brown or black person to run away from ICE when they are pulled over. Again, you know where this question's coming from. 28-year-old Juan Duran, down in St. Petersburg, Florida, last week, was in a car with 3 others. ICE pulled the automobile over outside of St. Augustine, Florida, and 28-year-old Juan Duran bolted from the car, fled on foot, tried to cross a highway, and was hit by a semi-truck and died instantly. Yet one more ICE killing. And again, to my question, was it irrational for Juan Duran to run away when ICE pulled their automobile over? I don't think it was. So yet one more ICE murder. Juan Duran was in a car with 3 other individuals. He was in this country legally on a tourist visa. His wife lives here. His child is in this country. He's from Mexico. He was visiting. He was in this country legally on a tourist visa. He was due to fly back to Mexico over the weekend, 2 days after he was killed. So come on now, think about my question. You're a brown or a black person. You're an immigrant, a brown or a black immigrant, and ICE pulls you over. Would you run? Would you run from ICE? I got to tell you something. Again, I love our cops. I love law enforcement. I've always been big blue, love you, blue. ICE is the antithesis of blue. ICE is the antithesis of law enforcement. Back in my day on talk radio and when I was in Congress, always telling all Americans, white, black, or brown, when a cop pulls you over, just do as you're told. I generally believe that. ICE ain't the cops. So if I'm a brown or a black immigrant and ICE pulls me over, based on what I know now, man, I think I might run. Based on what I know now, 11 fatal shootings in the last 8 months at the hands of ICE. ICE shot and killed 11 people, pulling them over, knocking on their door, grabbing them in the street. Man, I'm looking at that. ICE pulling me over. They've already shot and killed 11 brown and black people who they've pulled over or grabbed in the street or knocked on the door of. Man, I don't like those odds. I'm going to take my chances. I'm running. And then we've been living in this world where our government is quite literally, has been quite literally for the past 18 months, grabbing, disappearing, and detaining brown and black immigrants off of our streets. No due process, no nothing, whisking them away, detaining them for days, weeks, months, and in most cases, putting them on an airplane and disappearing them out of this country, often into a country that is not their country of origin, right? We're living with this right now. You're a brown or a black immigrant, and damn it, these fucking mass federal thugs pull you over in a nanosecond. You got to think, oh my God, they shoot and kill people. That's what they do. Oh my God, though, if they grab me, if they detain me, oh my God, they're going to put me in some detention center, and then they're going to put me on an airplane and drop me off in Panama, in Colombia, in a country that's not my home country. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Hell yes. It's rational. At this point in time in America, in the United States of America, it is perfectly rational for a brown or a black person pulled over by ICE to flee. And I don't want to hear your bullshit. You put yourself in the shoes of a brown or a black person in America right now pulled over by ICE. With this history, this recent history. Come on now, 11 fatal shootings in the last 7 months? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of brown and black immigrants disappearing, grabbed by ICE and disappearing. Utter middle finger to you're a brown or a black person in this country and ICE pulls you over, your constitutional rights don't matter. Due process doesn't matter. Even so you're figuring all of that out in your head again in a nanosecond, and even 28-year-old Juan Duran, who's in this country legally just visiting on a tourist visa, he's got to run the calculations, the odds in his head. Boom. He's got to make a quick decision. And he did. And it cost him his life. But what he did, fleeing from ICE, the way America is now, an America with armed, masked federal thugs who've been given license to do whatever the fuck they want. They're lawless thugs now. Trump, Vance, our government has told them you can do whatever you want. In a setting like this, I'm a brown or black immigrant. I'm running away if these lawless masked thugs pull me over. And by the way, to this issue, again, we're pounding it and putting it out there every single day. Our Know Your Rights tool, Paxos, that we've developed, that's out there in the hands of immigrants and citizens, especially brown and black immigrants and citizens, to help them know what they can do. It is still vitally important that brown and black people in this country know what their rights are when they encounter ICE. Paxos.app, Paxos.app. There it is. Check it out, free of charge. Spread it around to everybody you know. My last question this Tuesday. Why the fuck? I love starting off a question with why the fuck. Why the fuck would any journalist go to a White House Correspondents' dinner with a president who is at war against the First Amendment? I mean, why? Come on now, why? He's the most anti-First Amendment president we've ever had. He's the most anti-freedom president we've ever had. He's the most anti-free press president, the most anti-free speech president we've ever had. He subpoenas journalists and their phone records up and down every day, every week. If they write stories he doesn't like, if they put out a piece on TV they don't like, he's threatening every single day and week to revoke the license of broadcasters who put out stories he doesn't like. He's denying access to journalists unless they get down on their knees and suck his toes. He censors speech. He denies free speech to Americans. He intimidates journalists. He literally says, media, you're the enemy. He's done that from day one. Why in God's name would any journalist get in a fucking ballroom with him this Friday night for a White House Correspondents' dinner? You'll recall that the White House Correspondents' dinner in April was stopped and postponed because there was an active shooter on the premises, and it was rescheduled, and it will be happening this Friday night in Washington, D.C., the White House Correspondents' dinner. And of course, Trump will be there. 500 some journalists put out a letter asking the same question I'm asking right now. Why the hell would you go, journalist, media people? That guy's at war against you. And again, the great irony right now, the latest, Donald Trump is going after New York Times journalists who wrote a piece about Air Force One in the New York Times that big fucking baby didn't like. He thought it embarrassed him. You follow me? So New York Times reporters write a piece about Air Force One that embarrassed Trump. So what does the fascist in the White House do? He subpoenas those journalists and subpoenas their phone records. And he didn't stop there, the fascist in the White House. He subpoenaed the phone records of the journalist family members, including one mother of one of the journalists. So right now, he's doing this right now about a story that he didn't like. So he's going after the journalist because he didn't like a story they wrote. That's happening right now. He's going after their family members, that fascist in the White House is. And you're a reporter, a journalist with any other publication. You're going to sit down in a ballroom with that guy? Why? Why would you do that? It's this constant refrain of mine, right? Ever since Trump got elected again, ever since Trump was sworn in, I scream this to Democrats. I scream this to university presidents. I scream this to CEOs of companies. I scream this to students. I scream this a mantra of mine to members of the media. Meet this fucking moment, will you? We ain't never been here. This is unprecedented. I have never, ever said about any other president, he's the very thing our founding fathers feared. He's a tyrant, a dictator, a fascist. This is unprecedented, what he's doing. It's unprecedented what he's doing against the First Amendment in this country. You got to meet the moment. Like from the jump, Democrats just didn't meet the moment. From the jump, a lot of world leaders didn't meet the moment, and they came over here and tried to coddle him. And Democrats tried to see if they could maybe work with him. And members of the media tried to see if they could maybe make nice with him. Meet the fucking moment. This is unprecedented. It's wrong. Free press right now in this country is under attack like it's never been under attack. Meet the moment, members of the media. What does that mean? That means you don't go to a White House Correspondents' dinner with him. Not when he's at war with you. You don't sit in a big, giant ballroom and feast on a big old piece of meat and drink some wine with him for an evening when he has literally been at war against you and everything, journalist, you've said always that you believe in and stand for. Free speech, a free and unfettered press in this country. Trump's been able to do a lot of what he's done because people haven't understood or have been too afraid to meet the moment. I always go back to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. God love them, but when Trump won in 24, they did the right thing. They publicly acknowledged Trump won. They publicly conceded, and they congratulated the winner. All things Donald Trump has never, ever done. But then I said to Biden and Harris, but stop there. Okay, you did your part. You said the people have spoken. Trump won. But then stop there. Don't make nice with him in the White House. Don't invite him to the White House and have cookies and tea with him. Do not go to his inauguration. Don't participate in any of that stuff. You acknowledged he won. The people spoke. That's it. Because you knew then, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, you knew then what he was. You knew then what he was likely to do. But you normalized him. You didn't meet the moment. Journalists, meet the moment. Don't you dare fucking go to this White House Correspondents' dinner. Keith, that's all I got tonight. 2 quickies. Tonight, it's the morning. My Substack, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. Everything I do, say, think, write, feel is on that Substack. It's just me and my voice. If you want to help keep me and my voice out there, by golly, please think about becoming a paid subscriber. It would be of enormous help. Second thing is my email. You want to shoot me an email about anything, please do. thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. That's all one word, thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. Thanks. Have a good day. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, follow, and share The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple, Spotify. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to The Social Contract on Substack. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.